Hi, Laura.
Now is it going? Yes, it is. Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our no viewers to Nat20Hot. Thanks for bearing with us through our absurd scheduling conflicts, but here we are. We are back, and we are raring to go. We are unfortunately down a player this evening, but we will proceed as though they are with us in heart and spirit, because why not? We're here for the kids. In case you didn't know, we do this for Extra Life, which is a foundation of America's children's hospitals. And every dollar you give goes to a wonderful cause of supporting America's children's hospitals and sick children around the country. To begin where we left off with a wonderful recap of where we've been, because we know it's been a little while. When we last left our adventurers, they had arrived in the shimmering town of Westwatch, which is nestled in the foothills of the Grey Ridge Mountains. And it's quite a bustling city, despite the recent tension that we've felt throughout the region throughout our campaign so far. And while exploring the streets of the Bayside town, our party discovered a massive construction project underway, as well as learning that their reason for coming to Westwatch, Lyra, was out of town on business for the local chieftain. Rather than pursue Lyra without a lead, the party ventured to one of the nicest establishments in Westwatch, at least by definition of Willem. Instead, he took them to the Cracked Flagon, and it was there that Randy signed the party up for a quote stealing mission at the Marigold Estate outside of Trowood, which will be in a week's time. Before hearing a commotion from the woods coming outside. As they explored the commotion, they found signs of a disappearance of an outsider that Willem had taken a shine to. But upon exploring further, they discovered a small settlement of others, people who decided to live outside the boundaries of Yusan's civil society. And they also found a chained up Lyra. Believing her to be a witch who summoned a foul beast from another dimension, the others quickly surrendered to the party, but insisted that they rid them of the beast before they free Lyra from her incapacitated state. Anything to add before we dive in here, folks?
No.
Well, great. If you check your Discord, I will go ahead and send through the map that we will be using for
Oh, baby.
our session
Oh,
today.
beans. Oh, beans on toast.
Oh.
Oh, beans. Oh, beans.
Whoops, not that.
Bugbear Barbarian. Rodeo.
So, you all find yourselves in a in this long hall, the cabin where you last left. It is nighttime. The air is quite still, but you do begin to hear the chittering and clicking of a mysterious beast that has landed outside. When we last left off, you heard the mysterious fum fum of beating wings and heavy footfalls on a cabin outside in the settlement. You also heard obscure clicking and almost the sounds of a bird, light chirping. Um, and the people that you share this long haul with insist that you go out and venture into the dark night and find out what's out there. Would anyone
New
like to
venture
do
out.
something or go first?
Um, well, shit. Here we go. Can I poke my head out to see what's out there?
You can. You poke your head out.
Yeah.
Okay, you poke your head outside, and you do see that the area around you is quite dark. It's lit by only a very dim light that's cast off kind of the dying embers of a nearby fire, and there's a pretty nice reflection of the large steel-colored moon that is up in the sky and nestled between the peaks of some nearby mountains. But scanning the ground around you, you don't really see much. However, if you'd like to make a perception check, you may do so.
Oh my god, I would. That is a that is 22.
Ah, okay. As you kind of scan about it, it's difficult to make out anything of clarity as you kind of look around the campgrounds. But as you look up and around, you can actually make out a small, dark figure that seems to blot out some of the expanse of stars in the night sky. It's perched on top of the roof to the right of the longhouse that you're currently in, kind of poking your head out of. Um, and you don't really see much of its shape, but you can get you have the sense that it has some wings. And as your eyes adjust to the darkness, you can see that it's perched quite neatly atop the cabin next to you, and it has this very large single red eye that kind of shifts back and forth.
Ooh.
It's taking in its surroundings, and you notice upon further inspection that it's rotating almost separately from the tilt of a beaked head that kind of snaps back and forth, not unlike a bird. But the eye kind of sits below the beak and kind of shifts around, scanning the horizon. From your perspective, it looks no bigger than a turkey.
Oh, it's not big?
From your perspective.
That's okay. Well,
Can
shit.
I'm in the longhouse, but I'd like to also kind of take a peek and then cast detect evil and good.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception, and I'll also have you tell me again what that spell does, since I always forget.
All right. Well, I got a 4 for perception.
Okay. You
And it
see
just
nothing in the dark night.
I can know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me. So I guess I'm assuming that it's 30 feet away.
You don't sense anything of that kind.
But I sense a fey.
He doesn't?
Oh yes, you do sense a fey.
No, you
You do sense a
don't.
fey, but you do not sense any others than one.
Got
You
it.
only sense one.
I don't think you sense any, but whatever. Um, uh, does this turkey look evil? Is it an evil turkey?
From your perspective, it looks pretty evil. It's a it looks at the very least it looks very scary and a bit frightening. Even despite its small stature, it does have the single red eye is unlike anything that you've seen, at least in these parts of the world. And its beak does look rather large and significant for a creature of its size.
I would like to do something that most people would consider a full turn in combat.
Okay, what would that be?
I'm gonna do that thing where you put your fingers in your mouth and you whistle. I can't do it, so I'm not gonna demonstrate. But in doing
Okay.
that, I'm casting fairy fire on it. So it's lit up. I think there might be something. Beep, bop, bop, bop. Dexterity saving throw. This turkey has to do a dexterity saving.
This turkey has to do a dexterity saving throw. Okay, well, with that, I will have everyone roll initiative, at
If
least
this is my
for this.
surprise round.
This will be clarified as a surprise round. Yes.
Yay!
Team
19. Hi, Laura.
Okay, hold on 1 second. All right, you said you have a 19.
Yes.
I also got a 19.
What are your respective dexterities?
12.
16.
All right, so
I'll
it's
be right back.
Randy.
Lights on.
Okay.
Random.
Dunk, what did you roll for initiative?
Oh no. I'll roll for it. Ready?
Did we lose Dunk?
Oh no.
I think we did.
Dunk!
Dunk, no!
Get out of there!
He's busy trying to convince Willem to fight because Willem's a coward.
Yes, Willem is too afraid to leave the Longhouse to join the fray.
We can say that he holds his turn until he can roll initiative.
We will do that, rather than wait. And you are casting Fairy Fire, which
Dirty
requires
30 20.
He says.
Dirty
He's frozen,
20,
so he'll
alright.
hold his turn. Alright, I'm doing multiple things,
okay,
so I'm gonna cast
they-
Fairy Fire and it has to do Dex save.
So they fail.
So as this turkey is lit up in like orange and red, so it looks like sparks from a fire. And then
Okay.
I am going to bonus action phase step to teleport up onto the roof next to it. And when I reappear, there's a burst of flames, and it takes 3 fire damage.
Ooh.
Okay. So you are going to step up towards the creature. And go ahead and update our thing that reveals this. So go ahead and move your little character up to it.
And I land in a perfect dueling pose.
Beautiful.
Oh,
and you're
no,
dealing how
that's
much fire
scary. I
damage?
regret this now. 3.
3 fire damage. Okay.
Yes.
So you step up there. Immediately, the beast is illuminated in red, fiery hue. And as you get up close and personal with it, you see that it is actually quite a large creature. In fact, as you step up next to it and kind of
like, oh shit.
pop into existence near it, you note very quickly that it is far larger than you had originally perceived. It kind of ruffles its feathers and shifts its head and lifts up its very large, expansive wings. And at the crest, you see these massive talons that it kind of like a pterodactyl buries and digs into the roof, and it lets out a little chuff before opening up its maw and letting out a blood-curdling screech and revealing a slew of just wet, dripping tentacles from a fathomless mouth. So, like, there's just tentacles lashing out at you in every direction. And will you be doing anything else with your turn?
I have a steady internal monologue of I fucked up.
Okay. That makes it Randy's turn. Oh, sorry.
Sometimes means something, but not this time.
Okay, fair enough. That makes it Randy's turn.
Were you able to get my my initiative?
No, what was it?
It was 30-20.
Okay, so we'll just say you held your action, and then we'll
Okay.
go after. Actually, just go ahead and go now.
Okay. Has the monster gone yet?
The monster has not gone.
Okay. I am going to run up to the beast. Is it somewhere where I can like hit it in melee range?
It is up on a roof, but theoretically, you could use a ladder that's on the side to climb up that roof with your movement.
Okay. Well, I will do that. And as I run, you see like like my eyes roll back, and I let out a blood curdling scream, and
Nice, we love those.
oh yeah. Okay, what's this?
Oh.
A bolt of light shoots from my chest. Another creature of my choice that I can see within 30 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage and be blinded until the start of my next turn.
Shoot. A
So
Constitution saving throw, and I assume you're doing this on the creature.
Yes.
Okay.
The DC is 13.
Okay. All right, they fail.
Nice. So it is blinded until the next turn.
Okay.
Let's see. Gain advantage on strength checks and saving throws. Damage with strength level. What am I to hit? 14. Does a 14 hit?
14 does hit.
Nice. And then let's see. Sorry, I got my things kind of all over the place here.
That's okay.
And then as a bugbear, I get surprise attack. If I hit a creature that has not taken a turn yet in the current combat with an attack roll, it takes an extra 2d6 damage.
Okay.
So an extra 4 damage on top of my... So 16 damage in total.
Shoot. Nice job. So you race out of the long hall, go running up this ladder as beams of light fire off of your chest, and you bring your axe careening down through it. And in a blinded rage, it kind of clacks back, and you deal wonderful. Yes, go ahead, Branwen.
Everyone has advantage on attacks, by the way, because of fairy fire.
Oh.
So, I mean, you hit, so it's fine.
Terrific. All right. Randy, anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Junk?
Oh. I mean, just make sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
All right. Randy, it is your turn.
You son of a bitch, Evan. I was gonna blind him. I will come out of the longhouse and kind of like see what's going on this roof, and I'm just gonna kind of, and I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
All right.
Guiding Bolt up the boat.
Cast away.
A range.
He came out of his long house and he's doing just fine.
I'm doing just fine.
Just fine.
Oh, I got a nat 20, baby.
No.
I think. Can this crit?
It's a ranged magic attack, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. How are we doing crits?
You can double your damage.
Okay.
Can I suggest what my in-person DM does? And
you may always make suggestions.
So like, what we do is that whatever dice damage you roll, so if it was like 2d6, you would automatically do max damage, so 12, and then you get to roll the dice on top of that. Because it takes away the disappointment of rolling all ones on your double damage dice.
I'm down for that.
Are you sure? Because it's a 5d6.
I'm down for that. This was supposed to be fought by more people, so you guys can have these wins. Can you say that again and write it down in our Discord for future reference?
Yes.
Yes. I will do that. Or to do things.
Well, it's okay. So it's max damage, and then you just roll normally for the second one.
Yes.
Okay. I do 46 damage.
Ooh. So Randy, you kind of step outside, look you blink and plainly look up at this creature before you that's kind of writhing about in agony in its blinded
and it's also
state.
so sparkly.
And it's very sparkly, just flames are firing off of it in different directions, and you cup your hands together and open them up, and yellow holy light fires off into the air and kind of just eviscerates this creature. And as the light clears, you find it is still standing, looking battered and torn, but quite angry at its current state. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
The next attack roll made against the target before the end of my next turn has advantage.
So if it already has advantage because it's very fire, is that double advantage?
It does not get double advantage.
And it's got advantage from being blown.
Yes, you guys just have like perpetual advantage on this. So
this is nice.
And here I was worried about you all.
Can you please describe what Willem is doing right now?
Willem is cowering in the longhouse, hearing all the sounds of combat and just feeling like that you all are getting your shit rocked outside, and continues to cower while he is kind of nurtured and loved by Lyra from afar. Like, oh, don't worry, darling, it'll be just fine.
Is he paying himself
this is
like a
so
little bit?
Embarrassing for future Nolan that he's gonna have to live this down.
It's true. All right, it is now the creature's turn. So they have disadvantage on attacks, but they are going to lash out furiously in the direction of Branwen. And they are going to open up their mighty maw and kind of lash out with several tentacles from their...
Tentacles?
Yes, they're tentacles that are spilling out of its beak. Did you miss that description?
Beak?
Out of its
Like a
beak,
squid?
yes. Like a squid. Not unlike a squid.
In the tentacles.
Yes, the tentacles are coming out. It's the inverse of a squid.
This turkey is a reverse squid?
Reverse squid, yes. And it is going to... Does a 15 hit?
That is my armor class.
And so it does. It does indeed hit. So I will have you take just a moment.
40 damage.
I almost be straight dead. I wouldn't be full dead. I would be saved by one single hit point if it did 40 damage to me.
I think that
is 11 damage. And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh man, none of my characters have ever been good at strength.
They haven't been.
Wow, man. 11.
Unfortunately, as the tentacles lash out of its mouth, they slap you across and strike you down towards the ground and then immediately wrap you up, constricting you. So you are now grappled. And it is also going to try...
reverse turkey squid?
You did, and it is now going to try and bite you whilst in its tentacles. But I assume you're not hit by a 9.
No.
And so it will end its turn. And we return to Randy.
Oh, boy.
Not Randy. Dunk.
Dunk, kill it!
Dunk.
Yes, I will...
Cut its tentacles off!
I will take a swing. I can't see its tentacles, but I can see its ass. And I'm just gonna take my, great axe and, thrust with it.
That's the quote of the session right now. I'm telling you.
I can't see its tentacles, but I can see its ass.
Advantage. You're right.
Put your great axe into its great ass.
It's not much better. 11. Does that hit?
Does not hit.
Dude, come on.
Its ass is not thick enough. I missed.
It is like it's more top heavy, unlike a turkey, like
Yeah.
where a turkey might have a
doesn't-
bigger back. It is more
The
top heavy.
turkey's got the flattest ass I've ever seen.
Doesn't do squats.
This turkey has a two-dimensional ass.
And with that, are you doing anything else with your turn, Dunk?
I don't know that I can. No, I'm not level 5 yet, so I can't. Nope, that's my turn.
All right. In that case, it is now Branwen's turn.
Okay. So what does restrained mean exactly?
You can make another strength saving throw to break out of the grapple.
And I can't do anything while I'm restrained?
While you are grappled. One day I'll remember all the conditions.
Same. I've been doing this for a while, but I still don't know.
Yeah. While you are grappled, you have a speed of 0, and you can. Is that it? Let's see here. You have a speed of 0, so you can't move and you can't attack.
Can I cast
So you can try to
spell?
break out.
I can't cast
Let's
spells,
find
no
out.
problem.
I don't think so. It does not create a problem for spellcasting. The only spells that you
Okay.
can cast while grappled or pinned are those without somatic components and whose material components you have in hand.
Well, this one needs somatic components, so I guess I'll try to break out.
All right, go ahead. This is using your movement, so you can take an action after doing so.
I rolled a 17.
You twist and writhe and squirm out of the creature's tentacles,
It is
and may
the
now.
squirmiest little beard wiggle you've ever seen.
Yep. And you may now take your action.
Yes, I'm going to attack it with advantage and do a well, I'll see if I can hit it. 11 versus 15.
That does hit.
All right, so I'm going to attack it and then do a defensive flourish, which adds 1d6 to my damage, and also adds 1d6 to my AC.
By all means.
So I rolled like crap. So I do 12 damage, and then my AC for this next turn is 21.
All right. Terrific.
So I'm
Are you
just
doing
like
anything else?
parrying these little tentacles coming from me. And
So you squirm out, break free, and
I legitimately end my turn in defense mode.
terrific. Randy, you see your compatriot Branwen kind of ride out of the creature's tentacles and with her rapier bust in different directions and slice them out of the creature's mouth. What are you doing with your turn?
I don't react to this. I just kind of like so the way that I cast it was kind of like that. And just as like the light kind of fades, I go and I shoot again. Another guiding bolt.
All right.
Can you do
Cast away.
And then
No, Randy wouldn't do that. That's not in character.
that's you know what? I accept that.
Yeah. Do I have an advantage or no?
Yes.
It's still
fairy
fairy
fire's
fired? Okay.
It lasts for a minute.
I got a 21.
That hits.
Eating the shit out of this reverse squid turkey. square feet.
That'll do 16 damage.
All right. You fire off another guiding bolt. And again, this creature is just doused in golden light that's shooting out of your fingertip, and it lets out a hearty roar. And again, the light fades, and it kind of rips its head around and looks in the direction of where it feels it's coming from. And you see the eye kind of dart in many different directions, unable to quite ascertain where it's coming from. It's battered and bloodied, and feathers are flying off in different directions, revealing almost a scaly texture beneath. And it is now... Are you doing anything else with your turn?
I'm good. I'm just kind of chilling.
All right. It is now the creature's turn. And it is going to, as it kind of looks over its shoulder and looks out at the creature that tried to attack it, so the blindness only impacts until the end of your turn, right, Dunk?
Correct.
Okay. So it is no longer blinded, and it kind of finally takes in the scene around it, and it is going to again like kind of snap its head back towards Branwen, but its eye is going to look towards Dunk as it kind of floats around the side of its neck, and it's going to lash out with its tentacles off to the side at Dunk. And are you hit by a 21, Dunk?
I am hit by 21.
Only barely.
So that will be 9 damage, and I will have you make a strength check as well.
This guy bonks.
11.
He does bonk. Okay, you are grappled until the end of your next turn. It's going to turn its head towards you, Branwen, and attempt to bite you once again. And that is no longer rolling with disadvantage, so that is going to be a 24.
Oh, come on, man. Brutal.
So that is going to be...
When I had an AC of 21.
I'm losing all my dice. There we go.
That's rough, buddy.
That is rough, buddy. That's going to be 8 damage. As it kind of takes its large jaws and snaps down upon you. And it is also, as a bonus action, going to kind of, as its beak opens up and you get to look deep into this creature's mouth and what appears to be just like utter blackness of this tiny hole where the tentacles seem to be spilling out of its mouth from. It lets out an absurd, just terrifying roar, and all of you must make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, beans.
Ooh, you zoinks. Zoinks Scoob.
Stuff Rank also historically so good at wisdom saving throws.
That's true.
That's a 6.
Okay.
I got a 9, but I feel like I gotta have something in this character sheet that allows me to do that again. I don't know what, I don't think I do, but I feel like I gotta.
I didn't like the roll, so clearly I get to be able to do it again.
Am I being charmed? Am I being put to sleep?
You are doing neither of those things. Dunk, what did you roll?
I only have to transfer a long rest.
A little bit. What am I rolling?
You are rolling a wisdom saving throw.
All right, I don't have anything that would make that
Ooh,
better.
Nat 20.
I have dark vision. Does that give me advantage?
So all of you except for Dunk are now incredibly terrified of this creature. This battered and bloodied, evil bird-like creature that perches atop the cabin. You are all terrified of it, which means you all have disadvantage against it. You can't move closer to the creature. Dunk, however, is more than fine, and it is now his turn. However, you are grappled, so you can make a strength saving throw to attempt to free yourself from that grapple.
Since we have advantage on it, does the disadvantage just even out to regular?
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
Oh yeah, I have advantage on strength checks because I'm raging.
You sure do.
Oh well. It's cocked. I'm gonna roll. Okay, 14. So 14, 19.
Yes, with ease. You flex your bugbear muscles and just snap these tendrils that surround you, and you prepare for an action.
All right, and I will wing. That's gonna hit. 22.
That hits.
Damn.
It's 12 damage.
Would you like to kill this bird creature?
Oh, thank God.
That was looking real rough.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. So it's now facing me, right? Like it's not its ass. It's
Yeah, its head is facing you.
okay. Well, then I will go the old-fashioned route of lopping its head off.
Beautiful. You take your mighty axe over your shoulder, and you, in one fell swoop, cut down this bird creature's head, and it sloughs to the floor and then tumbles down off the roof and into the center of the camp, where the end of it, he actually even falls into the fire, and you hear the singeing of dried blood as the rest of the body kind of flumps off and slides off the hay roof of the cabin as things return to a relative quiet. And Randy and Branwen, you feel kind of snapped back to reality, and no longer afraid of the creature that was once before you.
I'm just gonna sit down on the roof,
Its
bleeding
head.
profusely.
Yeah, its head kind of landed
Ow.
just in front of you, Randy.
I was at 2 hit points.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, I'm at 1, cause from like the last encounter.
Oh yeah.
Me and Randy just sit down next to each other and are just like, not Randy, Donk.
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Hey, you guys good up there?
No.
I might. Can you like help me get down? I would kind of
yeah.
try to jump down, but I'm pretty sure it would be embarrassing for all of us.
No, I'll catch you. Oh shit! I just catch her.
I just awkwardly slide off the roof.
You gently.
I'm pretty big. Yeah, I could.
Yeah, you can. You gently kind of throw yourself off the roof and land haphazardly, a little awkwardly, a little cutely into the arms of a waiting Randy, as he's kind of like gives you a nice big grin. And you all kind of dust yourselves off as you hear from inside the cabin, "Is it dead?"
Oh, these fuckers.
Yeah.
Can I just go in and cut Lyra down?
So Lyra is
flip off
down. She's just
Willem.
chained up. She's just chained up inside the longhouse.
I flip
Are you
off
going
Willem
back
and hold my hand
into
out
the
for
longhouse?
tea. Yes.
Terrific. So you make your way into the longhouse, and the others are kind of there, like frantically. You can see them all kind of white knuckling a couple of haphazard created weapons. Like one of them truly has a sword, but the rest are all kind of carrying like hand axes and saws. And then Lear's kind of like sitting there very patiently, like chains just crisscrossing her body, and she gives you this very nice warm smile. She goes, "I knew you all could do it. I'm really
There's
quite
a
proud of
chunk
you."
missing out of my shoulder.
Yeah, you look battered and bloodied, but she's very excited to see you all. And the gruff individual that you've been talking to the most does kind of look at you all and then gives a nod over to the two people who are kind of holding the knife nearest Lyra. And they kind of produce a key and start to unlock the many different links of chain. And she starts to rise, and she kind of stands, and you actually like get a sense of how tall she is. She's about like just about 6'5". She's a very tall
Oh my
woman.
god, what?
Yes, very tall woman. She has these very
Writing that
long,
down.
flowing blonde hair, and she has a very gentle face. Like you get the sense that this wasn't stressful to her at all. Like she seems very at peace and at calm with the situation. But you're not sure if that's just blissful ignorance or genuine, like I had it well in hand.
You'd kill us all right now.
Yes. And she does kind of look at you all, and again gives you a very nice smile. And then she approaches you, Branwen, and is going to go ahead and cast Healing Word upon you.
Oh my god, what's the word?
Hold on. She like presses her hand against the wounded shoulder, and she says, "It's a true pleasure to finally meet you. I've heard quite a bit about you, and you are healed for 12 hit points."
Oh shit.
While
You
she's
said
doing this, I am also
look at
going
my
to
buddy
cast.
Dunk too.
I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing towards these two friendos. They're going to heal for 11.
I'm back up to total.
Sick.
She looks back at you all and says, "I really have appreciated my time here. It's been so wonderful getting to know all of you, and now it's brought us all together. I must ask though, how on earth did you find us?"
I think Randy heard a yell.
Yeah, no, I heard a scream, a blood-curdling scream, which I decided to follow for, in case it was a person.
Yes, we heard that as well, though it didn't come from here. I don't suppose any of you know who that might have been. She kind of looks towards the others, and they're all kind of quietly looking amongst each other. Just, "Aye, we heard it. But we're not the only ones around here. A couple other settlements and some folks who lived up in the mountains. They're pretty new. Might have been one of them. The creature might have gotten to them."
Yeah, using powers of, deduction. We haven't heard a scream since. We could cut the bird open and see if, we find her in there.
Oh shit, yeah, we should do that. Do you know a girl named Erica?
Erica? No, well, of course I'm not from here, but I'll defer to these lovely folk. Erica? No Erica that lives here. Like I said, we ain't the only ones here, and there has been more activity in these parts as of late. But I must also apologize. You all done us a great kindness, and we're appreciative of that. We don't have much of anything, really, but you can take what we have. And he
I
kind of pulls
mean,
out
once we're done,
a small coin purse and tosses it your direction.
I'll catch it, toss it to Dunk.
Inside, you find 34 gold.
Yay.
Dunk,
Then he
I've
also
decided
says,
you're in charge of handing out the money.
and what we lack in gold, we make up for in our talents. You can have this as well. And they pull out kind of a large bottle that looks, of like homemade types, like almost like a mason jar, not a normal potion vial that you would expect to see in a more upscale market. But they hand you a potion of lesser restoration.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be moonshine.
It is not moonshine.
How much
Does it taste
gold was
like?
in
Is
that
it a
pouch?
potion of lesser restoration, but it's essentially moonshine?
It is, yes. It's
Yes!
moonshine that functions like a potion of lesser restoration, and it was 34 gold, Dunk.
I wrote down the moonshine, though. I put that in my... Well, folks, on the bright side, once we're done cutting this thing open to see if it's eaten any humanoids, I do think if we cook this thing up, it'd be kind of like a cross between, a turkey and calamari.
Oh,
So,
surf and turf, you all can enjoy. I would love to
yeah.
take a few samples for my own research if it's all the same to all of you. The people kind of look at her really skeptically and are just like, fine.
Can I also insight check her to see if she's secretly evil?
Yeah, you can insight check her.
I already detected good or evil.
That's true.
I think she's fine, actually. I changed my mind. She's fine. Don't worry about it.
Anyone
total-
can, like, I'll be honest, like 27, no matter what you have rolled,
No, not 27,
you are,
just a 7.
oh, either way, you are aware that she is like the most delightful person you've ever met. Like, she just seems so nice, so easygoing, really down to earth. Like, you get the sense that, like, this isn't a shtick, it's real.
She'd definitely, like, walk you home if you were drunk and hold your hair back. And
And
also
on
make sure
that,
you ate something before you passed out.
on that note, she says, now you all have come all this way not to find me, right? Like, what bring you to Westwatch?
Oh, fuck! This is really important, actually. I mean, maybe this could be for, like, tomorrow morning, but I just give her the whole stack. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. What? Oh, yes. I should have assumed. Of course, you'd be here on Elray's orders. What is this exactly? Something he wants me to look over?
Yeah. I didn't look over it. He told me not to.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. I would have expected anyone else to review it. He was right about you. You really are a good soul. Well, I'll be more than happy to look over this. Although I might ask, I'm more than happy to escort you all back to Westwatch and we can discuss the findings together. Or if you wanted to continue some of my work here, I was actually on the hunt for those people that they're talking about. Some of the folks have been really moving outside of Westwatch and settling up in the hills here. It's been a bit peculiar, and the chieftain, Chief Bertram, he just assumes that they're the ones that are stealing things from the village, but, you know, I do what I'm told.
I think we should at least stay the night because it's like, what, the middle of the night right now, and also we've got a squid turkey to cut open, Jaws style.
Yes, I mean, if it's all the same to our guests, I'd be more than happy to stay. But this might be enough excitement for me. I think I might have overstayed. But the rest of you, more than welcome to stay, and just do find me in Westwatch when you return. And I'll just and she kind of like skirts around you, and then just like
should we
pick.
group huddle first just to figure out what we actually want to do?
Oh,
Group huddle,
I mean,
group
I can
huddle.
give you all. I can give you all a moment to talk, of course.
Yeah,
The people, the others are kind of looking at you very suspiciously, albeit begrudgingly, like they are appreciative of what you've done. But like the main fellow is kind of standing there, kind of stroking his beard and grunting a lot, doing a lot of.
I stare back at him.
What's up, Branwen?
What do you guys want to do? Should we just go back with her right now? Maybe take some surf and turf to go?
I definitely want to cut open that bird.
Yeah, I definitely want to eat the bird.
Do you think she could just let us take a look at it quick? Take a leg? And then we can go?
Yeah, I don't see why that would be a problem.
I wouldn't mind sleeping in a nice bed.
Yeah, I'm okay to go back.
That hole that Willem brought us, and I flip Willem off.
He looks at you and just goes,
"That's so
Plastic Willem." Willem's gonna become the new road free.
Oh no!
Oh no!
The gentleman kind of looks at you all and just kind of says, you can cut it open. But if any of these kids' parents spill out in the middle of our town, you're cleaning it up.
This isn't really a town, let's be real.
You'll be leaving tonight. You've done us a great service. We'll point you to where we think the other settlements are, but you won't be staying in our walls.
All right. Lyra, are you good with us taking a look at this thing and then we all bounce together?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Do you need any tools to cut it open? I left all my stuff back at that camp. I might want to just run back and
I think
and
we
get those
brought
things
that
as
with
well.
us, didn't we?
I mean,
You brought her cloak, but you did not bring her bag.
I think I brought her notebook. I gave her notebook.
Oh my goodness.
We said
Thank you
satchel
so much.
in
Oh, you did
abandoned
get. Okay,
cloak.
yeah. You got all her stuff then. Wow, this is tremendous. Thank you.
I wasn't just gonna leave free stuff.
Well, I know you had good intentions when you took it. My oh my. Truly fabulous people. Well, all right, let's cut this thing open.
I'm getting a what's his name vibe from her now when they're in Jaws and the guy's super excited to cut it open, then he throws up immediately.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll.
Who's cutting it open?
Cut it open. Yeah.
All right, Dunk, get in there. I will have you roll a medicine check to cut this body open in an efficient way.
If he gets a really good score, can he be like filleting it like a pro chef?
We'll see what happens.
Oh, dirty 20.
You like you've been there 1,000 times, fit your blade underneath the wing and slip it down, and you peel back a big layer of its skin, revealing just sinew and muscles below, and then you take another and slide down the belly, and as you start to peel open the stomach cavity, things just start to spill out in every direction. Bits of bone, squirrel carcass, a driver's license from Rhode Island. No, I'm just kidding. And other things start to fall out of its body.
There is one in there. There is one in there.
Yeah, there canonically there's a.
I'm writing it down.
You also see like bits of mushroom and plant, suggesting that this is a bit of an omnivorous creature with a very slow digestive tract. And then, last but not least, sloughs out a human arm from just about here down. A bit of bone and rough hewn skin sticking off at the end. And make an investigation check. Anyone, you're all seeing this.
Not good.
14.
7.
Dunk, was
what'd you
yours
get?
so bad that you don't even want to mention it?
15, sorry.
Oh, 15. Branwyn and Dunk, you are able to perceive with just a little bit of thought that you recognize vaguely the bracelets and accoutrement of the arm that kind of adorn the wrist and the bit of tattered sleeve that you can still see as none other than the woman Erica that you saw leave the bar the previous evening. But it is the only contents of the stomach. No other remains, just the arm. Oh dear. Hope that wasn't one of theirs. As Lyra kind of gestures over her shoulder.
No, they said this is from that lady Erica that we mentioned.
Oh, Erica. So sorry. How do you know her?
Our buddy Willem tried to stalk her out of a bar.
That's true.
Oh, that fellow over there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The wet blanket, absolutely dead weight.
God.
Well, that doesn't seem very nice. He seems like a perfectly fine gentleman. I was consoling him in here. Well, We all have negative thoughts from time to time, but it's important to work past those. This arm is a friend of yours. Should we go looking for her? Do you think she's part of the settlements that they've mentioned?
She's definitely been smuggling food out.
The
Hmm.
area that, because we found her stuff, right?
I think
You
it
did.
was.
You found her stuff. You
And
found
there,
bits of things that she had been carrying.
yeah, there wasn't any blood around, was there?
Not in the initial scene.
Okay. Just
I
asking.
haven't
You
picked up
also
the-
rolled really bad investigations.
Oh, fair. Thank you.
Just
Um,
word of
can I
caution.
roll a check to see if I recognize this creature?
Sure.
Yeah,
Kind
I'd
of check
also like to
lucky.
roll for that, for recognizing this creature.
Do I get advantage because I'm not from here?
You do. You can roll a nature check with advantage.
Oh my god, I
You got
rolled a 6
4.
and a 3.
You don't recognize this creature at all.
I would actually recognize one of its subspecies, but this version's
Nope.
not native to where I'm from.
No, you wouldn't recognize it at all. Anyone else trying to recognize this creature?
I got a 4. No way.
A shot.
Do I get like any hint that it could be from
What am I rolling again?
somewhere else that I may or may not be from?
You can try to ask somebody.
Well, I'm not gonna do
What
that.
kind of check is this?
It's a nature check.
Nature.
16.
Hey, Lyra, do you know what this is?
Dunk also has the idea that this is definitely not from around here, and it also reminds him of some children's stories that he's heard in his time. And Lyra goes, "Oh, why, yes, it's a snallygaster.
Mhm.
Terribly
Excuse
foul
me?
beast, but not native to the... Oh, a snallygaster. It's a terribly foul beast, but not native to these parts. Not native to these parts at all." And she's kind of looking at you, Branwen, and giving you a firm nod. And she kind of looks at you and gives you a soft smile, and then says, "Like many others that we've been seeing around here, the snallygaster is not the first of these beasts to arrive, but it is the most dangerous we've encountered, and they are getting bigger. I fear that something else is afoot, but that's not to talk about here. We can have that conversation back in my office.
All right.
Again, I'm welcome to walk back with you tonight. If you'd like to look for your friend here, of course, I'd understand, and I'd be happy to accompany you as well."
I don't think they
I
really
guess
want
we
us
can
here anymore.
give it a once over.
Yeah, we'll check it out, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well,
Just real quick, you know.
yeah.
In and
Well,
out.
let me. She kind of like throws her hands up in the air and she looks at the folks around, like the people behind you, the others who have all kind of gathered outside of the longhouse and are watching you. And they go, "Thank you so much for the warm accommodations. It truly was a pleasure. I'm so sorry that you thought so ill of me, but I'm going to take my friends here and get out of your hair, as I understand that we have definitely overstayed our welcome. So thank you kindly. Enjoy the bird. And
Hey, Dunk, get some
well,
stuff for surf and turf.
and she kind of like hears that and like steps in front of Dunk and just like waves very oddly, giving you the opportunity to attempt to steal stuff from the bird.
Is there a little nook that I can hide in while I do that nearby? Because I
You're
have to
fine.
be. Okay, I
We'll
They're
just
all
make a wall.
pretty. Yeah, they're all pretty done with you and acknowledging what you're all doing.
I'm gonna also grab a couple feathers.
Go right ahead. You pluck a few snallygaster feathers. And finally, the man kind of speaks up and he says, "Aye, thank you again. You've done us a kindness. We'd appreciate you don't come back. We've got enough problems with beasts and highway robbery. We don't need the likes of you sniffing around.
Did he mean that in a racist connotation?
Roll an insight check.
Insight check, is he
Oh
racist?
no!
Nah, he didn't.
Yeah, you don't read into it at all.
That was a 8. I just
Anyone else
Yeah.
rolling an insight check?
Yeah.
On whether he's racist?
yeah.
Sure. I got a 15.
13.
You get the sense that this is just they don't like outsiders or people that conform to societal norms.
What about any of us conforms to societal?
You're from Westwatch, and that's all they know about you.
I start lighting a pipe, and I start heading out.
Right. The group of you retreat out of the woods. And I'm sorry, are you headed to Westwatch, or are you going to take a look for Erica?
Let's take a look-see for Chigirl.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll a survival check collectively, so you can just take the highest number to make your way back to the original location.
If I cast light, will that make it easier?
So yes.
Okay.
5.
Does that like mean advantage or just like a bonus to the roll?
You can add 2 to the roll in addition to whatever additional modifier you have. You're just making it a little brighter.
13.
19.
All right. Thanks to Randy, you are able to return to the trail and you start to exit the settlement. And as you kind of cast a faint glow from your hand, and you make your way through the forest, you actually begin to note that the sun has begun to rise. You can see in the distance that the sky is being painted in these beautiful hues of orange and pink, but it still remains quite dark in many of the places around you, whether it be the forest canopy or the shadows cast by the mountains. The sun has not quite begun to crest over the peaks of the mountains above you. And you, after about 15 minutes, return to the main trail that you had exited Westwatch from, and find yourself at kind of a bit of the crossroads where you broke into the woods. Up on the cliffside, you see where Lyra's campsite had been. She kind of gives a faint, "Oh, that's where they kidnapped me from." And then you also see the kind of scattered remains of what you believe to be Erica's accoutrement that she had claimed from the cracked flagon.
Sorry, remind me again. Do we have any evidence that the arm that came out of the guy belonged to Erica?
Yes, you
Bracelet.
recognized it, or Steph recognized it
okay.
from bracelets and clothing that happened to be on the arm.
Cool. Then I will be looking for blood.
Roll an investigation check.
Oh my god, he casts Luminol. He casts...
3.
I will also be looking for blood.
I
and
will
got a nat
also
1,
look
so
for...
I did not find any.
It all hinges on me.
Except my own from my battle wounds.
8.
Try as you all might look around. You spend a bit of time kind of crisscrossing around the area where you had found some of Erica's supplies, but you find nothing of note or of new evidence that leads you to suspect anything beyond that she was just picked up and carried off somewhere else, which is the exact same impression you were left with the night prior. And Lyra kind of looks at you all apologetically as you work on things, and she says, "Is there anything I can do? Anything I can help with?"
Do you see
Any way to track this lady?
I fear that's a bit out of my expertise, but perhaps someone in town knows where she might have been off
wait a
to,
minute.
and you can see if she made it back.
Is Erica magic in any way? Do we know?
You don't know that.
I'm sorry, we don't know that?
You wouldn't know that, no.
Wouldn't know that, okay.
But perhaps there's
Whatever, I'm
someone
gonna
in
do it anyway.
town you could talk to?
I'm gonna cast Magic Awareness. Is there any
Okay.
magic spell or magic item within 60 feet that isn't
Is it a
behind?
magical person or item?
Let's see. I can open my awareness, blah, blah. Till the end of my turn, I know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover.
Yes. So as you kind of open your mind, you do get the sense that within 5 feet of you, there is definitely some significant magical energy coming off of an item. But does the spell enable you to where it is?
I know the location of any spell or magic item.
It is
Behind total
about 5 feet away from you, and it seems the feeling that you get in your third eye is that it is exactly where Lyra is.
Ah.
Just get magic.
She kind of feels you staring at her. She goes, "Sorry, did you think of something else I could help with?"
Nope. Nope. I'm gonna hold on to this one. Nope.
So if I look up, does it look like there could have been like broken branches up there, suggesting that she was like carried off?
So, scanning around the tree line, you do see a few broken branches up in the canopy that kind of open up into the sky above. That do suggest, and it's like pretty much right above where you are standing. So you do get the sense that they were kind of lifted off.
All right, so she was lifted into the air. We can't kind of really track the air. I mean,
Guess she's
might
dead.
as well. Like, even if we were able to track her, she lost an arm, which means she's suffering considerable blood loss.
That is true.
Like, you can
Well,
survive that, but
you can. You can. And if she has friends in the area, that would also be very helpful. But perhaps we go back, and you seem to know her quite well, so you can probably ask one of her other friends where she might have been going to.
I mean, I know a dude, so yeah.
Well,
Oh, could we have grabbed one of her bracelets off of the severed arm?
I will say that you have, yes.
I should have just grabbed the whole
Great.
arm.
All right.
Well, wonderful. Then let's go ahead and make our way back to town then.
Can we stop by that crappy bar?
Sure. The Cracked Flagon.
Yes.
All right. Well, you all begin to make your way back down the path and into the city of Westwatch. Um, Again, you kind of as you trudge down the cliffside or the mountainside, the turf and the terrain becomes less rocky. It becomes more green as you start to see different, fields and farmsteads as you make your way closer to the city. The sky is getting even brighter now as the sun has begun to rise over the bay, which you can see out in the distance, kind of shimmering in the morning light as you put the expanse of the mountains and the night behind you. As you get even closer, you can start to hear the distant clanging of hammer to stone and metal, likely the building and folks working on the merchant building that you saw when you first entered the city. And you pass through the gate not far from where you snuck out the night before, passing a handful of farms and homesteads on your way deeper into the city. Lyra kind of gives you a polite nod. She goes, "I simply must get to my office, but meet me there and we can review the materials together. Don't keep me waiting. I would love to be able to talk about all the things with you. And just so you know, I will cover your return to Trowood. You've done me a great service, and we owe you that much."
Cool.
So she kind of splits and kind of hustles off the other direction as you arrive at the front door of the Cracked Flagon.
God, this bar sucks.
Oh, it's still nighttime, I assume.
No, it's daybreak.
Yeah.
Things
Okay.
are relatively nice. The sun has largely risen. Folks are milling about. It's a bit quieter in this part of town. It is not the greatest part of town, and you get the sense that like folks here tend to do their business by night. The people that you do see are returning to their homes as opposed to leaving for a day's work. You hear more sounds off in the distance. Merchants opening up their stalls, people going down to the docks, but for the most part, things are relatively quiet in this part of town.
Are me and Dunk getting any looks? Because we're probably covered in blood.
To be honest, that doesn't seem entirely uncharacteristic of this part of town.
Neat.
So you enter the bar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely. So you enter the Cracked Flagon, and give me just a moment here. You're met by its very familiar at this point low ceilings and dusty, musty scent. But as opposed to when you entered yesterday evening, the upstairs is pretty quiet. You gather that most folks are either downstairs sleeping, or just not here in a tavern at this time of day. What you do see is the bartender Dane, who stands
My
behind
man.
the bar, arms crossed, head listing slowly back and forth. And you also see the gentleman Sirio, who you engaged with, Randy, yesterday evening, kind of sitting there with his head kind of buried in a book. And his hand kind of glazes over a very thinning hairline, like he's just kind of pulling back very few strands of hair over a very sallow face. Yeah,
I love this
and
place. Feels like home.
what are you doing?
I will go up to my man Dane,
I'm gonna
who's my
also
bestie.
go up to Dane.
Okay. You both approach Dane. Didn't think I'd see you in these parts anytime soon.
I'm not here because I want to be. I
You're
put.
telling me.
Do you not want to be here?
He gives you a look like, do I look like I want to be anywhere?
Instead check, does he look like he wants to be? 9.
You get the sense that he doesn't want to be anywhere.
You're unreadable. Anyway, I put Erica's probably bloody and slightly mangled bracelet on the table.
You dump this bracelet, it kind of lands with a slight thud on the bar.
I don't dump it, I
And
just kind of like place it.
It's wet with like kind of the lining and ooze of
Bits.
Mucusy.
mucusy. There's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
Oh no, I don't like
Of
that.
the inner lining of this beast's stomach and intestinal tract, and it is indeed laced with dried blood. And he kind of gives it a look, and he goes, "So you killed Erica?"
No, she got attacked by a big squid turkey that was terrorizing people in the mountains. Do you know where she might have been headed? Because we tried to see if we could find her when we were up there, but we didn't have any luck.
I don't discuss the business or locations of my patrons. They pay me fondly for my silence.
Okay, so what if we were to tell you that she's for sure missing an arm?
I'd say that that's an unfortunate proposition for her future business dealings.
God, this man's heartless.
Do you say that?
Yes. I mumble it. But I don't care.
And kind of his eyes like flutter down towards you. I don't consider myself heartless, but when you're in my line of work, you see a lot of faces. You stop seeing a lot of faces.
Say that she was a decent one, though. Like, would you want to see her alive again? We're trying to do a good thing here.
Roll a persuasion check.
I'm so trying. I have +7, so that's a total of 10.
No.
I've been rolling so bad.
She is one of the good ones.
Like a hint? You got a hint?
He kind of looks down at his feet and... You didn't hear it from me. She comes in on a weekly basis to pick up food and provisions for, I don't know, some group that's taken up in the mountains. You follow the main thoroughfare out the meat gate, you'll end up there in about a hour walk. Sometimes she has us drop things off. Most of the time she has them pick them up herself. They're real squirrely types up there.
Well, if we have a chance to check it out and we find her, we'll let you know. Or maybe you'll just see her again. Who knows?
Maybe don't tell me anything.
All right. Sounds good. Bye.
Do you miss your wife, man?
Never been married.
All right, and I leave.
Are any of you doing anything else in the bar here?
I will get a beer.
I'll say hi to Sirio, just as a
All right.
polite greeting.
And I don't really know exactly how paying for things works, so I just kind of take a small handful of the gold and put it on the table.
I'm so
It
happy
is
I put him in charge of money. This is
It
only
is 2 copper for a beer. So he slides you back over pretty much a handful of gold. So you are good. You approach the gentleman Sirio, who is seated. And I just realized that you can't see them, but if you look at the Twitch stream, you'll see Sirio.
Is he hot?
And he's kind of sitting there with his hand, his book blocking his vision, and doesn't acknowledge you as you approach.
Oh, he's not hot.
How's it going, man?
He's not hot at all.
No, he's not.
He drops his book angrily, and then his face kind of lights up as he sees you approach. Ah, my friend. It's good to see you again. Did you need more information for our adventure next week?
No, I think I got it. I just wanted to say hi. I just thought, maybe offer you a pufferoonie, and
Thank you, but I don't partake. But I am grateful for your offer.
All right, you're lost, man. You miss your wife, man?
I've never been married, but do you miss your wife?
No, me neither.
Insight check. Is Randy married?
This is a private conversation. Excuse me.
I'm eavesdropping by the door. 14.
No, I've never been married.
Familial attachments can be so draining, can't they?
Yeah. I'll find
I
someone
assume
who's
you
been
would
married
know.
soon.
Assume you would know better than most.
You could say that.
Is Randy just out to become a homewrecker?
Marigold Estate. 1 week from today.
You what?
You'll be seeing us at the Marigold Estate 1 week from today.
Absolutely, man. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Sounds like a
You
blast.
can meet us at the north gate of Trowood.
Yes.
Don't leave us waiting.
I would never do that.
Grom is not a fan of waiting.
I've been told that I'm the least flaky person.
Would you make plans if you're going to be
Well, I must be returning to my novella, but it was a pleasure to see you again, Randall.
Absolutely. Hey, what's it about?
Oh, it's about Brilliant conquests of faraway lands.
Insight check. Is it smut? It's like one of the first good rolls I've had. 17.
It's not smut, but it's not about brilliant conquests of faraway land.
Sounds awesome, man. Where can I get a copy?
One of a kind, straight from the author.
Oh, you wrote it?
No, I happen to know the author.
Oh, who is it?
Well,
Your wife?
no, not my wife, but I'd rather keep that to myself at this time. It is the personal manifesto. I wouldn't want to put this person on the spot, so it was a gift, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Ah, understandable, man. Well, have a good one. I turn around, I go to Branwen, and I say, "Yo, we should steal that book."
I should steal it?
Well, we can both steal it.
Like right now? We have plans.
Okay. Well, we'll see him in a week anyway. I'll steal it then.
You what? And we leave.
All right. Where to?
Lyra's.
You're gonna beeline
the
straight for
lab.
to the lab.
Willem stays in at the cracked flagon because his tummy hurts.
Well,
Okay.
my tongue.
We will say that. We will say that canonically.
Ow.
Wonderful. So as you leave the cracked flagon, things have really livened up in the city. Before long, you arrive in the central square, not far from Lyra's office. People are milling about and to and fro as any bustling city might. And you do see out of the corner of your eye a great deal of work being done on the large merchant building that kind of overlooks the bay. From your perspective, it feels to be nearing completion, but like the exterior feels very complete. It feels very resplendent, especially considering the buildings that surround it. But there's still quite a bit of activity that's going on around it. But assuming you enter the office, yes?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Lovely. You enter the office, and just a moment. You enter the office and you're greeted by the same surprisingly spacious and very warm interior that you discovered literally a day ago. But only this time the office is completely barren except for you. But even still, despite the quietness of the office, there's still a nice fire burning in the hearth that fills the room with warmth and the subtle crackling of flames. And the presence is immediately detected as like Lyra's head kind of pokes out from further down the office, like down a narrow hallway. And she goes, "Ah, you've come. So welcome. Please, tea." And she kind of flips her hand through the air, and a saucer and platter of multiple cups and a brewing kettle kind of float down in front of you on a faint blue feminine hand that kind of extends ethereally in front of you.
I don't know. It seems pretty rude.
It doesn't at all.
Yeah, I take some tea.
Yeah, I'll take some tea and then take like a substance out of my pocket and I kind of pour it in and mix it. It looks like sugar.
You enjoy your tea with sugar then?
No.
Well, to each their own, of course. So I must thank you very much for taking the time to bring these files to me. I'm much appreciative. But I must ask, Elray did not share any of his findings with you? Is there any
Elray
particular
didn't
reason?
share shit with me.
Oh, goodness.
Don't tell him I said that.
No, of course, I understand. I understand. He's an acquired taste, but I love him so. He's been such a wonderful mentor to me in my very brief time here in Westwatch. And first off, allow me to say thank you for saving me once again. As I do adore Elray, and he certainly knows how to find good people. So, in reviewing the items he sent over, I'm not quite as withholding as he is. We share a similar fear, and I'm afraid you experienced that fear tonight. Things have been getting worse throughout the continent. They are not confined to Trowood or Westwatch. They extend everywhere, from the elven cities to the mountains to Conway's Ferry and back. No one is a stranger to this. Unfortunately, there are things that would get you laughed out of the room in most places, or, or worse, tied up and dangling from a tree. Um, those are things that can certainly happen if you're not careful.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, not fun. You all know the stories, I'm sure. The things that your parents told you when you were nothing but wee babies, right? About where we all came from?
They told me I came from the moon.
Well, yes, that is, I have understood that to be a fine tradition that is passed down in the Goliath culture. And it is, if you trace that line back further, they say that the moon came from a spirit that crossed over from another plane. For everything that exists here came from somewhere else. Nothing started here. In fact, all of it can be traced back to the wild. And just based on how you all interact, I have no doubt that you're fully aware that your compatriot here is from there herself.
Hmm?
You told them, I assume.
Oh.
Oh, you haven't. You,
You're
no.
talking about. Yeah, no, she is a fae. That's true.
Oh,
Yes. Okay.
God.
Yeah. So they're all aware. Why are we pretending like this is some secret? I understand
don't
Elray's
know.
concerns. But yes, it's time that we talk about it openly, lest we're never going to get to the bottom of what's happening here. So, Branwen, would you please just tell us?
I'm not from around here.
Yes, well, that's certainly one way of putting it. Someday you're gonna have to tell me all of it. What's it like to be there and from there, and there's
A
so
lot
much
better.
that I have so many questions for you. I mean, being here amongst humanity is it's a gift, really, but to be there amongst the everlasting, it must be phenomenal.
I'm getting a little weird about it.
I'm sorry. You must excuse. I mean, this is what I've
This is
spent my
why I don't
life
tell
studying.
people.
That's fair. I understand. I understand. Well, this is neither here nor there, and I do forgive me for outing you, though I do suspect that everyone knew.
Nobody
But you
tell
know,
Willem.
they're yes, your friend.
I want
You've
you
left him
guys all
behind.
to actively gaslight Willem.
I
Mostly out of
suspect that
comedy.
he's not telling you everything either. But
Willem's also a fae.
Yeah, he definitely is. But not like me. I'm like
perhaps in
real
different
Leon,
ways.
who's kind of knockoff.
Perhaps in different ways, and there's more to all of you that we're not fully aware of yet. And she kind of looks at each of you individually. She says, and all of it can be traced back to one thing: that somebody is tampering with it all. Somebody, some people, are aware of the fragile tension that exists between our planes, and they're trying to make it even worse. They're trying to break it to pieces, find little holes and poke things and open up doorways and just break down the barriers that we've come to know as all around us, everywhere, everything, all at once. And if that were
Who's
to
the one
happen,
leading behind the holly? Or the juniper, or whatever the hell it was.
It was
it's
Holly.
Holly. And I'm not quite sure. Elray has his
Elray seemed to know.
suspicions. They're dangerous accusations.
Dish the dish, bish.
Yeah. Excuse me, I sneezed. They're very dangerous accusations. And knowing them as you're about to comes with it a certain degree of Danger. I'll say it. Knowing what I'm about to tell you will put you in danger.
It's my middle name.
Have you ever wondered
Bronwyn Danger,
why?
whatever my last name.
Have you ever wondered when the last time winter came to Yusan?
Truly
Do
no.
any of you remember a winter? It's been autumn for, well, nigh a decade. Doesn't that seem peculiar to you?
I mean, I've been places where it's summer forever, or spring forever.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh.
Why do you think that is?
Wait, it's autumn for everyone else?
What season
Everywhere.
is it for you?
It's been autumn for me for like a decade. I thought I was just tripping.
No, it's been autumn for everyone, everywhere, all the time.
For the first time, like, a wave of concern is on my face.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think I'm freaking out, man.
You want some more
Yes,
sugar?
take all the time you need, and she kind of hands you another cup of tea, and also like uses Mage Hand to pull out the vial that you originally put it in, puts more in your tea for you.
This can obviously be solved by more drunk.
And she says, "Yes, isn't it odd how you can come from a place, Branwen, where seasons can last a lifetime? They can dominate whole worlds. And we find ourselves in the same situation here on an entirely different plane. And now people are poking holes in those barriers, scrying away, scratching, trying to get at something else, something deeper, something beyond. It's concerning. And the holly branches, well, they're like a calling card. Who's doing this? Or at the very least, who's asking for this?" Brenwyn, roll a history check.
Do I get advantage?
No. Because you're a forgetful little bird.
We can't hear you.
You kind of look at her very plainly, and you're just like,
I trained a very specific thing. I have a very specific job.
And that job? Representing the court, yes? Fighting out their problems? Handling situations for them?
That son of a bitch
Yes?
told you everything.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna
It's all
pee
right
his
here.
ass.
And she holds up the dossier.
Oh
She
fuck,
says,
I should have read that.
"So the fact of the matter is, Branwen, your friend Willem, even Dunk here, all part of the problem that we now find ourselves in. Which means that you all find yourselves in a very complicated game where we are all pawns in somebody else's chess game."
But whose calling card is the fucking holly?
Funny how holly can only be found in the coldest of regions.
It's not one of those winter court bitches.
It's been a long
I'm
time
so
since
lost.
Charlotte Hale has been on top.
Charlotte Hale. I'm guessing
These are dangerous accusations. And if you were to return, Branwen, you must be abundantly careful of any decisions you make and the people you talk to, because if they're trying to mess with things here, I'd be very afraid of anything that's happening there.
a good thing I'm probably not going back there anytime soon.
The way things are going,
I mean, I'd rather be there than here, but like whatever.
if only this were my only problem. Things get worse here every day. Between the sightings of new creatures, that the people seem to be ripping holes into the plains to bring them over here. They're all coming from the other side, coming from the wild. And Samuel Bertram, the chief, it just gets crazier and loonier by the day. I'm afraid he's losing his mind. But
Wait, can we backtrack? Who the fuck
Sure.
is Charlotte? Who's Charlotte Hale? Do I know her?
you would know that Charlotte Hale is the Winter Queen, the
Fuck.
head of the Winter Court.
I don't fuck with her. I'm assuming.
You don't. In fact, they are your arch rivals.
Oh, this bitch. I
Though
probably
you have never
fought her proxy.
you have never dealt with her personally, but you have fought her proxies. Like you are still you
true proxy.
you deal with the court of the individual king, so you are in the court of Agmar, the Summer King, and you fought for the Lord of the Wild Hunt, and you were ousted in a battle with one of the Lords of Winter's proxies, which we will talk about more offline.
Oh shit.
And
I look at
believe we've
Branwen
lost.
and I just, I'm like, what's going on?
His pupils are huge.
Yeah, I'm looking real bad.
I understand this must be a lot to take in. This is why Elray didn't want you to know, but I believe that you all are instrumental here. And the more you know, as linchpins in all of this, each of you has a reason for being here, that you'll be essential in rectifying the situation.
I mean, I can kind of figure out why I might be here, but what about my boy? My boy Randy. Look at him. His nose is bleeding. He's thinking too hard.
Oh shit.
All of you must come to reveal your own stories at your own pace.
Are you actually from the moon, Randy?
That's what they told me.
Infection. From the moon.
The moon's name is Arbor, by the way.
Arbor, okay.
21! Are you from the moon?
I'm gonna say that's a Goliath thing.
It is. It is a Goliath thing.
Is that real? Is that? I thought I just made that up on the spot.
Yeah, we're gonna roll with it.
Okay.
It is part of the. It is part of the Goliath story.
Awesome.
Everything in the mortal plane that you know and love, based on what Lyra just told you, came from the wild at some point. So the spirits that created the land, as you saw, and one of them turned into the moon and gave birth to Goliaths.
If I had a nickel for every time Bort played a character from the moon,
I was gonna say
baby.
How much of a crazy twist would it be if I was playing anti-Moon
Lord again?
I'm big and I'm like not energetic.
Chris, Bort's first D&D character for our OG game was a character named Moonlord who was from the moon.
His name was Avigantos Wilson Vanderhoff, and he introduced himself by saying, "I'm from the moon."
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we could
Great
bring a
character.
call back here and make it part of our lore. Lyra looks at you all and says that, like I said, I believe you all to be very important parts of this story. But there's more that needs to be done, and there are questions that need to be answered. So I would ask that you all keep digging and keep me up to date on anything that you find. I'm here as an ally. Whatever you all need, you will have it from me.
I have something we need.
And by all
what the
means.
fuck do we do next?
Well, I know this much. Chief Bertram has been assigning me to go out into the woods and the mountains quite often, looking for things that are stealing our livestock, stealing our crops, he believes it to be the others. He's convinced that it's these settlements of people, like the good people who held me captive last night. It's a combination, really. It's these foul creatures that are being summoned here, and it's the people doing the summoning. And a fair amount of them are clearly holed up in the hills outside of Westwatch. Now, I haven't been able to get to the heart of where they are yet, but I believe your friend Erica might have been a member. It's why I took an interest in her, and it's why I wanted to know more about where she was. If you can look into that, I'd be most grateful for anything that you find.
Okay. Well, back to plan find Erica.
Yeah.
And like I said, I am also more than happy to pay for your return to Trowood, as I'm sure you all have business there as well. I can requisition a ship for you quite easily. I have many contacts in the city. And whenever you're ready to return, just let me know, and I'll contact August.
Can you send a message to Elray for me?
I can work on that. It's something that I've been attempting to do for some time, but unfortunately at the moment we're a bit hampered. I'm not quite at that level yet. I'm still learning. But perhaps someday, in the meantime, I have drafted a response, and she kind of flicks her hand as her mage hand appears with another like sealed envelope. And if you have anything you'd like me to say, I'd be more than happy to, but I would also appreciate if you could bring it to him.
Oh. I thought we were just gonna like use the mails.
Well, I would love to, but unfortunately, that system has not been running in some time. Chief Bertram has shut it down due to fears of travel and dangerous beasts about, so we haven't really been sending much news between the cities.
All right. Well, let's go figure out Erica's deal first, I guess.
Lyra.
Lyra?
Lyra. That's what I said.
Yes.
No, actually, I say Lena.
Okay. Yes.
Do you miss your wife?
Well, I haven't seen her in some time. She's still in Half El Rey, so I do miss her quite a bit.
Sorry about that. Then I turn around and leave.
Yes. Well, okay. He's
been
quite a
asking that
peculiar
to
fellow.
people a lot. I'm really confused.
Well, he's a bit of a peculiar fellow, but I'm grateful that you have a strong ally by your side, and especially one as caring as he is. He'll go to the ends of the earth for you, I can tell.
You know who else will go to the ends of the earth for us? This bear beach.
Who's that?
Oh,
RJ, yes.
I'm carrying Randy Jr. this whole time.
One day I'll remember to incorporate Randy Jr. organically.
No, nobody remember. He's an
remember
ethereal
that
bear. He blinks at it.
Wow, have you had that the whole time? Oh my gosh, it's like he's invisible. I've barely
It looks
noticed
like he's
him.
just wearing like a fur. No.
Yes, he's just a tiny bear.
He's a very calm bear.
Yes.
He does not want.
We need to make it a running bit where we only remember that the bear is there at the very
end. And so with that is a wonderful place to conclude our session today.
The intrigue.
Whoa.
The intrigue.
Guys, we're gonna guess,
way more lore than I was expecting to dump on you. I read DM notes instead of other things. But you know what? We're here for it. It's totally something Lyra would do. Thank you to all whomst tuned in. And we'll see you next time, whenever, wherever. We are Nat20Hot, and we're super grateful for you for tuning in.
Next episode coming in from the airport.
Yeah.
Yes, from the air, live from the airport, live from LaGuardia.
It's there.
It's